Alrighty. The DVS Comanche 2.0 Plus. How do they skate? How do they feel? And how long do they last? Let's get into it. So I bought these when I was down in the States. If you guys don't know, I was down there in the States for about a month in California, Nevada, and Arizona. And I was filming and skating every day. So go check that out on my channel. If you guys are new here, I occasionally do shoe reviews. But if I'm not doing shoe reviews, I'm usually just skating at skate parks, filming in the streets, and kind of just documenting that whole process. So consider liking and subscribing if you're into that kind of stuff. But yeah, let's get back into these shoes. If you guys haven't heard of DVS, they have a long history in skateboarding. A lot of you might know Jerron Wilson. He's a host on the 9 Club. He used to be sponsored by DVS, along with Mikey Taylor, Tori Pudwell. But yeah, these ones are Dave Bashinsky Pro Model. If you guys don't know who that is, go check him out. He's done a lot of cool skateboarding over the years. But yeah, this shoe. What really attracted me to buying this shoe was the toe cap. So the toe cap really reminds me of like a Nike SB Dunk, and that's kind of what drew me in. So as far as the fit goes, they are a little snug. So these are a 10.5, and I'm typically a 10.5 in like a Vans. But with these, I would definitely recommend going up a half size. So these would fit similar to like a Nike. Whereas a Nike, I need an 11. 10.5 just doesn't cut it. It's just too tight on my foot. And the spot that it's tight is really just like around the toe. It pushes a little too much pressure on my toes. But other than that, it fits quite well. They're nice and sturdy, nice and planted. They are stiff, which I kind of like in a shoe. A lot of people don't. I prefer a cup sole. I like that kind of rigidity and kind of confidence, especially around the ankles. But yeah, let's get into the insole that's in here. So these have a pretty thick insole, and they come with this kind of memory foam kind of pads, similar to like an FP insole would. I actually didn't skate them with this insole because they were a little too snug. I skated them with this FP insole that I picked up, the Elite Pro. I wanted to get a thinner insole for the types of shoes that felt a little snug on me, but I would actually recommend against it. These are a little too thin and don't offer enough impact protection like a thicker one would. These might complement like a thinner insole if you want to double up, but if you're just rocking them as is, it's just not enough. Because like even landing on like flat ground, missing a trick and landing flat ground, I could like feel my whole foot like almost like tingle and vibrate, which says a lot about the technology of these, because you can really feel that the energy disperses throughout your foot, but it's still like an unsettling feeling. So I'd recommend using either the stock insole or getting yourself a thicker FP insole, which I honestly won't skate without these days because they're just so good. Let's get back into these shoes. So look down factor is on point. I think they look great, especially with black pants. It just blends in so well. They are a bit of like a poofier, thicker shoe, but if you tie them up tighter, like if you look at my goofy foot here, they don't look as poofy. But I don't mind that look. I think it looks good. They offer, a decent amount of board feel, normal amounts for a cup sole. They're definitely more of like a technical shoe as far as like the construction goes. I won't get too much into that. I'm not really a shoe nerd as far as like understanding the construction of a shoe, but they do offer like this extra piece here, a lot of like stitching, these flaps here if you don't want to ruin your laces, or you don't want to super glue them, you can kind of tuck them away. For this one as well, you can tuck them away. It just adds that extra little protection. But I typically will super glue my shoelaces after like the first session, just so that they last even longer. Without super gluing my shoelaces, I can rip through a pair of laces in like a week and a half or week. But with super gluing your laces, I can almost make my shoelaces last the longevity of the shoe, which is pretty impressive. Because I don't know about you guys, but for me, and you can comment below, but for me, I don't like to have to swap out laces. I like the colorway of laces that the shoe comes with. I mean, it depends on the laces, but I don't typically like to have mix matched shoelaces. So comment below if you guys don't mind burning through laces and swapping them out. But personally, super glue for a session. That way you don't have to deal with it later. So yeah, I've skated these for about 3 to 4 weeks now. Not these ones specifically, but actually these ones here. And as you can see, they're doing a pretty good job at holding up. Like I said, I super glued them probably the second session. And when I say super glue, I do like just the stitching, the laces, any like points that I see that might get affected. But these have held up pretty well. I mean, this is kind of falling apart here on the tongue, which is pretty typical because I do a lot of kick flips. So the tip will kind of blow out and this tongue will blow out because your foot rolls off the top of your grip tape when you're kick flipping, right? But yeah, these have a lot of life left still in them. So it's an impressive shoe as far as how long they're going to last. I mean, impressive in the way that like they're going to last as much as like most shoes out there, probably a month. It really comes down to how much you're skating and the tricks you're doing, right? I'll blow through shoes in like about a month of heavy skating. But some people will, you know, wear the same shoes for months and months. So it really comes down to how often you're skating. As far as the sole goes, I'll show you the sole and the new ones. Yeah, they offer a lot of grip, which is really nice. So I realized that right out the box, they actually felt really good. Kick flips felt good, 3 flips felt good. I was doing a lot of like switch heel stuff, and those felt really good. So they definitely offer enough board feel and grip, similar to like a Vans, where they almost felt a little too grippy at first. But once you kind of get used to it, it was fine. But yeah, let's get back to this 3-week-old shoe. So the sole is starting to see some wear, similar to like the life of a Vans. I find that the sole blows out quicker than the top will. Whereas like a Blazer, for example, I found the bottom or the sole lasted a lot longer than the top would. So it really comes down to the shoe and how it's constructed. And for these, like I said, they have a lot of life left in them. So I would definitely recommend them. They're a good shoe. Yeah, I picked them up in the States for, I want to say around 70 American, so close to $100, which is pretty standard for a pro shoe these days. I don't really have much else to say about these shoes. I really like the way they look, especially in this colorway. I think it's probably the most attractive colorway out of all the ones that I've seen. I mean, the all black ones are nice too, but I don't like shoes that are too fancy. I usually like shoes that kind of have 2 colors that aren't too kind of flashy. Basically, I want my shoes to match what I'm wearing. If you like the video, consider liking and subscribing, and we'll catch you on another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace. Keep it going.